What profession was once highly respected, but is now a complete joke? President. People that have friends, how? An extrovert finds you and adopts you. What was ruined because too many people started doing it? Having sex with my wife. Redditors, what started off as a small lie but then snowballed into this is my life now. Told a small lie to a girl I was texting that I love running, didn't know how it sold because I was fat. Started running the second after I sent that. 5 years later I went from 298 to 180. Not bad. People that have friends how? Step 1, go to an animal shelter. Step 2, fill out an adoption application. You now have the greatest friend in the world for the next decade. Reddit, what is something that you can't believe is actually a real thing? The share button on porn sites. What movie changes the plot if you add random R somewhere in the title? Fantastic breasts and where to find them. Ladies, what is the most obvious hint you've dropped that went unnoticed by a guy?
My current boyfriend and I started out in this weird friends that flirt stage. I was trying to find a way to get him to make a move. One very hot evening, middle of August, we were sitting in his backyard with a few of our friends drinking beer. I sat on the same lawn chair as him, kind of wiggled in, and said I'm cold. He left me alone in the chair and proceeded to build a giant fire. It took like an hour. When he was finished making the fire he sat back down in a different lawn chair.
No man passes up a good excuse to light ST. What's the most wholesome conspiracy theory? Rocks are soft until you touch them. What is the dumbest thing you've ever done for absolutely no reason? Someone asked me what time it was and I lifted and rotated my wrist so I could look at my watch. I was holding an iced tea and just poured the whole thing into my lap. I wasn't wearing a watch. I didn't even own a watch. Never have. What is something minor that happened to you and instantly lifted mood up? My dog pooing after not pooing for 24 hours. Why is baked pronounced baked but naked isn't pronounced naked? Because, as someone said, English is not a language, it's 3 languages wearing a trench coat pretending to be one. Pretty bold of you to say that since you got named after the sound a plunger makes. When I die, I want my epitaph to read, mistakes were made. Wasn't that already on your birth certificate? This song does stuff to me that my girlfriend can't do. That's because this music is real, while your girlfriend isn't. My DK is so big it goes from A to Z. Look at you keyboard. What would the person who named walkie-talkies have named other items? Pregnancy test, maybe baby. What is the dumbest solution to a problem that actually worked? One of my friends is a teacher and he was finding it hard to deal with his kids dabbing in class. So he started doing it. In a super white dude awkwardly trying to fit in with no rhythm way. The kids stopped. Parents of Reddit, what is the most absurd thing you have found on your kids' social media? My stepson is 7. Found a bunch of searches for Dominicans with no hands and feet. Dominicans with no heads. Dominican chests. Dominican torsos. Dominican legs. Dominicans in stores. Dominicans for sale. Silver Dominicans. Black Dominicans. White Dominicans. I was at a loss of how to bring it up to him. Thankfully, the next day we were in a clothing store and he asked me why Dominicans don't have hands or heads, then why there are so many different colored Dominicans. I remembered the internet searches and became a little upset. I told him to be quiet because what he was saying could be taken offensively by Dominican people. He then got frustrated and loudly said Dominicans aren't people as he pointed to a statue next to us. I breathed a sigh of relief and said mannequins. What profession was once highly respected, but is now a complete joke? Nigerian prince. What is the worst state you have seen a public bathroom in? New Jersey.
Honorable mentions.